Okay, so I'm just going to work with Luke here. Luke's from, what state are you from?
New Jersey.
New Jersey. So how long have you been punting for?
Like 2 years.
2 years, and I'm just going to go through some like roll-out Aussie style drop punt stuff. So first I just want to see how you go about it. Nice. Looks smooth. Yep. Yeah, better. Mate, that's actually really good. So a couple of things, ball angle, we can lean it back a little bit like the last one. I want to look at your steps a bit more. You've got like really good control. I think there's a bit of room there for getting more hanging distance on it. Yeah.
So lean it back a little bit more?
Just a touch. If you hit the point, there's just no give in it. So you need to kind of lean it back, open that up just a touch.
Yeah.
I don't mind the steps. You could probably get a bit more aggressive in that last one. Like to then let that leg whip through. Oh yeah, that's a good mistake though. So even though that ball drop was a little off, you had it leaning back and it felt...
That one felt good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a really good ball. And there's still more room for more slight and kicking left. Naturally, I'd want to see you almost scissor kick and land on your plant leg, and that's just what should happen naturally, because your momentum's going this way and then you're hooking it across. So it's kind of very hard to skip. But when you're going right, kicking right, it'll tend to be a bit more of that. But I'm okay with, because what I'm going to say with that last one, there's still room.
Yeah.
There's room with this hit. Okay, so let's see a roll right, kick right, see what we're doing left, and then go from there. Yeah. Yeah, so a little bit off its axis. Quick tip with this, so when you're going around, your foot's now coming around like this. So the ball needs to match it.
Yeah.
If you're kind of doing these ones, you're going to undercut it.
Okay.
And it's just going to spin and then go up.
So don't put it like straight up?
Yeah, so you just got to match it. So when you're coming around like here, it's going to be more up and down. But when you're pulling it around, it's like that. Oh, yeah. So you see that? Like it goes out and then it kind of straightens up.
That one felt much more powerful.
That there, so what I'm saying is you're coming around and just how I wanted, getting that hip rotation to pull it across. That's what you can almost do on the going right ones as well, if you want more on it. Okay. So it's angling actually to the sideline and then coming down the field. So
turn out a little bit more?
Yeah, exactly. So these first ones where you're going right and you're kind of coming down and getting down the field, right? A bit more just straighter. Good kicks. If you want a bit more on it, angle out there, you're going to turn that plant foot out there, and that's going to bring my hips around. So I'm now coming around, but I'm still finishing down to the right. Okay. So it's the same thing as when you went around and kicked it that way, but we're just doing it here and changing up on where we are on the field.
Yeah.
So Luke's actually got a really good rollout technique, and it wasn't too hard working with him here. Obviously, a few of his drops were a little bit off, but he does have decent power in his leg to make the most out of it. And while the drop doesn't, yes, you want it to be as consistent as possible to get the best impact into it. It doesn't always have to be perfect. Sometimes you can hit it a bit like a kickoff where the ball is up and down and you do hit a bit of the belly of it. But more often than not, you want to get that ball matching the angle of your foot. And yeah, here we're just working on, I guess, where we were on the field. So, and where we were trying to kick it. So on the right hash, going right, you need to get a bit more air under this one, more hang time, so that the returner just gives it a fair catch. However, if you are wanting to pull the ball left from the right hash, if that's the call the coach has made, then you're trying to keep it away from the returner with almost like less hang time, so it hits the ground and rolls. So whipping around it, you'll find you should be able to get a lot of power out of it. And you don't need to get as much hang time on it. So yeah, I guess in this session, we were just working on those concepts. One, with the ball angle, two, the hip rotation, and three, kind of like landing on your kicking leg. which is a bit of a funny concept, but you will see a lot of the best punters do that. And it mainly is a result of them kicking it so hard that they are forced to land on their kicking leg. It's not really a conscious thought, but they kick it so hard, they kick with so much torque in their hips that they are forced to land on their kicking leg. So we do go over it a bit here, and it's a really good way to get just that more power into it through hip rotation and kicking up through the ball. It's almost like a kickoff where you'll see them hurdle into the kick or after the kick through the ball. So here Luke is doing a few dry swings with it, just trying to get his body used to it. But the important thing to remember is that it is a result of that sideways momentum and kicking it so hard through the ball, so that that you're forced to do it. So it's always good to get the concept here with these dry swings. I'd like to see Luke angle out a little bit more and pull across. So like pull it across a bit more aggressively. It's really a bit of a game with the returner. And this is only if there's one returner back. Things will change if there's two returners. However, we want to be able to almost deceive the returner. So we're taking our steps out to the right and then aggressively pulling it back. It's going to allow us to get that hip torque, but also disguise where we're going with it. So you can see there, he's hit that and landed on his kicking leg. Ball drop a little bit funny, but you can still make it work. It's kind of like what I said at the start. It doesn't always need to be perfect, but yes, to be consistent, that's what we want. And I guess this whole concept of landing on your kicking leg and the whole hip rotation, you are going to be a bit more inconsistent. Your ball drop's going to change angles, and your leg swing's changing angles. So it's really important to practice it as opposed to just the more of the straight on kicks. But yeah, that's just a quick insight into the Aussie style rollout punt that is quite damaging in college football, where you can have more control over it than a traditional spiral and keep it away from the returner to get those good rolls, and it's easy for your team to cover.